All right, my friends, thank you for joining me today in what I hope will be food for thought for you. I am sincerely earnest when I say that I hope and pray that you'll ruminate on the content that I'm providing here and then leave a comment down below expressing your views, your opinions, and your insights so that iron may sharpen iron. We're all trying to forge our paths here and we need each other, okay? But what I want to talk to you today about is what we will do for love, what we will do for acceptance, and whether it was worth it or not. Okay? Today's quote comes to us from Charles Caleb Colton, a writer. He said, "When the million applaud you, seriously ask what harm you have done. When they censure you, what good?" All right. We as humans have this drive, this compulsion, this desire to be loved, to be admired, to be adored by others. Now, you might be watching this and saying to yourself, I don't care what people think of me. Well, you do need some social equity to get through life and to navigate your way smoothly. And there are certainly things that you want. And so it is necessary that people do like us to some degree. But what are we willing to do, and what was it worth it? Okay? There will come a time when you will be recognized, you will be applauded, you'll be esteemed in high regard by somebody, maybe a group of people, maybe a million people. That's not likely. Most people in life don't have a million people cheering them on, right? In your corner, supporting you, saying, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help you get ahead. That's probably not going to happen. This is usually relegated to the celebrities and politicians in this world of any ilk. They might have a million people, but most of us have maybe in the best of times, a handful. If you're a public speaker in your own town, you're a leader in some regard, you may have 100, okay? And you'll have people who don't like you likewise. But it doesn't really matter what the number is. We think to ourselves, when that day comes, that's gonna feel really good. But we all have these visions in our mind from time to time. What would it be like to be like those people, right? Don't forget that it's too easy to give up too much, to compromise, to forget who we are. When we finally find ourselves on that track and people are actually doing this very thing, okay? Yes, there will come a time. If you're desiring it right now, there will come a time when people will do this. Some number, some quantifiable number, right? Doesn't matter what it is. But when they do this, you need to seriously sit down and ask yourself some questions. Number one, did I deserve it? Number two, what did I do to get this? And number three, is it causing any harm? Because it's all too easy. All too easy to do this. You see, we humans have this problem of overcorrecting. We haven't felt loved by our parents or our spouses, our children, our customer base, whatever it might be. We haven't felt that. We felt like we deserved it. And then when it comes along, we overcorrect. And we're willing to do too much, or perhaps too little. We say the wrong things. We act in questionable ways that will follow us for the rest of our life. Or even if it doesn't, even if people continue to cheer you on, doesn't mean that you've done the right thing. You get people like Rihanna during the Super Bowl halftime show, or Sam Smith lately, as you've seen on what was it, the Grammys or whatnot, in all of their splendor. And people will often say, if you question it, they'll say, well, I mean, listen, it got them awards, didn't it? Got them recognized. Look at the people cheering them on. So the end justifies the means. But these people have sold their souls, so to speak. Just because you have the approval and you can hear the cheers doesn't mean you're doing the right thing. And all too often, it's just too easy to veer off track. And the more likely you are to crash and burn, the more that people will support you. Because in the back of their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they're extremely fickle. Your fans, if you get them, your fans will be really fickle. I mean, they may seem like they support you, but it's only because there is a chance that you're gonna take a dirt dive. You're gonna crash and burn. And they want to see it. They want to have front row seats to the show. Ask what harm you have done. This is a way of understanding whether you have blurred the boundaries or obliterated them altogether. You ask, well, how do I know? How do I know if I've done what is right? Well, according to what Charles Colton here says, look at who is censuring you. Oftentimes, the people in this world, because we live in a fallen world, we live in a world that rewards iniquity, that rewards narcissism, greed, because there is a trade-off, as I've just mentioned. This world is like that. When you point your feet in the right direction, it will get noticed, but it won't necessarily have the effect that you want. See, in your mind, if you're good-willed, you'll say to yourself, others will appreciate my endeavors. Yes, some will, but it may not be what you think. It may not have the effect that you think it ought to. If you're being censured, well, in some cases, and for some people, it might not be such a bad idea. But you have to take stock. You have to really seriously inquire why. Why am I being censured? And in many cases, in a vast number of them, it's because you've done something right. That's not hard to figure out. Look who shows up on TV the most. Look what is being spoon-fed to you. If you're straight and narrow, what kind of a chance do you think you have? This is something to think about, and I hope you take the time to do so. All right, guys, don't forget to see the description box below. I hope you've gotten something out of this. I'll catch you in the next one.